Hey, yo, fourth grade, it's Mr. Remedies. I am here with you for language arts. Man, I can't believe how excited I am that we are starting our new unit today. We are diving right back into poetry. Man, it's one of my favorite things to read. It's one of my favorite things to write. I can't wait to share this with you. We are exploring different kinds of poetry during this unit. Man, this is going to be awesome. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. So, let's dive into what our first lesson is all about and which type of poem we are learning about today. Lesson number one is all about lyrical poems, what they are and what they're all about. So, let's look at our learning goal and success criteria and then dive right into our lesson, guys. So, our learning goal today is a very easily attainable goal. I know that if you focus, you dial in during this lesson, you will achieve it easy peasy. All right. So, we are learning to recognize and understand the characteristics of a lyrical poem. Okay. And along the way, you can check yourself by seeing if you met some success criteria here on our screen. First and foremost, you got to be able to define poem. You have to be able to say to yourself, I can define rhythm, I can recognize the rhythm of a poem, and I can identify rhyme in a poem. You hit those four things along the way, and man, you're right on track to achieve your goal today. And you'll just be a lyrical poem expert. All right, let's dive into a couple of vocabulary terms and then really get to the meat of today's lesson. So we have really two words we're concerned with today. We are concerned with the word poem. A poem is a piece of writing that is created in an interesting way to express a feeling, create a mental picture, tell a story perhaps, or even make a sound. Right? Poems are incredible, guys. I can't tell you how much I like them. And our other word that we're really focused in on today is the word rhythm. Right? Rhythm is the pattern of sounds that creates the beat of the poem. Okay? And so I know you guys are going to be familiar with these terms, but we want to put them in terms as they relate to poetry. So I think you're on the right track. All right. Enough of that. We got vocabulary out of the way. Important to put in your brain piece, know what they mean, and let's see how we can apply them to our lesson today. What is a lyrical poem? I think that's a pretty good question, guys. So let's go ahead and tackle that question with an example you see on your screen. We're going to go with Horse of the Sea from one of our recent read alouds. Horse of the Sea by Snorri Sturluson, translated by S. Lang. Horse of the Sea, I'll mount my ocean steed, and over the hills I'll speed. Forest and hills are not for me, I love the moving sea. Oh man, that's so cool. I love that poem. That's sweet. Short, simple, right? But it's chock full of all kinds of goodies. Let's kind of tear it apart to see what's all inside of it, right? So what are we noticing about this? How do the lines sound? Okay, Horse of the Sea. I mount my ocean steed, and over the hills I'll speed. Forest and hills are not for me. I love the moving sea. How do they sound? Right? And what do these lines make you feel like doing? Right? If you said they have rhythm and they maybe make you feel like clapping or swaying back and forth, I think you're on the right track there. Okay, so we want to notice that this example of a lyrical poem has a rhythm to it. All right, let's move on to a quick second example, and let's see if there are any more characteristics we can learn about lyrical poems. This one comes from Meet Denitra Brown, and this poem is called Jump Rope Rhyme. Zuri Jackson, that's my name. Count to three, it's still the same. Turn the rope and watch me spin. Quick, Denitra, jump on in. Another short and real concise poem. But what do you notice about this? How do these lines sound? They rhyme, right? I bet all of y'all across Cobras Cove, Texas, pointed out that rhyme real quick, right? Because it is very obvious, the first two lines rhyme with each other, and lines 3 and 4 rhyme with each other. So name and same, spin and in, those are rhymes, right? And so I noticed that maybe these two poems might have a couple of things in common. Let's see what they are. Side by side, horse of the sea, I'll mount my ocean steed, and over the hills I'll speed. Forest and hills are not for me, I love the moving sea. And jump rope rhyme, Zuri Jackson, that's my name. Count to three, it's still the same. Turn the rope and watch me spin. Quick, Denitra, jump on in. Right? What do they have in common? Right? What is similar about them? Right? They both have rhythm. In Horse of the Sea, I kind of get the idea that the rhythm is kind of similar to the rhythm of the ocean, of the waves going back and forth. And in Jump Rope Rhyme, I definitely can hear the rhythm of little kids playing double dutch out on the street. I can definitely kind of hear the rhythm of that jump rope hitting the sidewalk as the kiddos jump through it. And so I definitely can see that they both have rhythm and boom, they both have rhyme, right? Steed and speed, me and see, and then of course name, same, spin, in. Those are rhymes, right? So far we're starting to see a pattern that maybe lyrical poems have some things in common, that they have certain characteristics, right? And so those characteristics are what make a lyrical poem a lyrical poem. So they have rhythm, right? They usually make you feel like clapping along or tapping your toes or swaying back and forth. They make you feel like you're listening to a song, and they seem to have a beat. I mean, they definitely have some rhythm. Right? They also rhyme. More often than not, a lyrical poem will include rhyme. Words like round and ground and sing and ring and name and same and boom, probably the hundreds of rhymes that you guys have just kind of thought up in your heads there. So lyrical poems are starting to come together pretty nicely. So let's look at a definition. Right? We can say that a lyrical poem is a song-like poem that has rhythm and sometimes rhymes, but most of the time it does. Okay, let's finish up with a little review. Right, we have started our return to poetry in just a fantastic way, guys. Learning about lyrical poems is right where we want to be to start off with, because lyrical poems are the poems that you guys are most used to, okay? But there are many types of poems, okay? And one of those types of poems is the lyrical poem, okay? And like I said, that's the poem that you guys are most familiar with. Okay? Lyrical poems have rhythm and they sometimes rhyme. Okay? Most oftentimes they rhyme. Let's not kid ourselves. Okay? But it's important that we really realize that these are the poems that we have grown up with so far. Okay? But y'all in the 4th grade now, so it's time to take it up a notch and expand your poetic horizons. All right? And I am happy to help you do that. So I've been Mr. Remedies. You guys have been amazing, and we will see you down the road.